Minnie calling Good Time Charlie. Lane Minnie calling Good Time Charlie. Over.
He's coming in now, sir. Hello, Minnie. I can hear you. Over.
Hello? This is plane Minnie. Watch the ceiling. Over.
Calling Minnie. Ceiling 50 feet. Closing in fast. Ceiling 50 feet. Closing in fast.
Don't tell him that. He'll bail out. I want that cargo. Bring him in.
I can hear you. You're right over the field, heading west. You're right over the field, heading west. Over.
Hello. Plane Minnie. Turn your truck headlights on. Point them onto the field. You got that? Point them onto the field. I'm coming down. Over.
See my lights? Can you see my lights? Over. Okay, bring her down easy. Slow your glide. Slow your glide. Pull her up! Pull her up!
I did not think you were going to make it.
You and me both.
We have another flight arranged for you.
That was my first and last flight, unless I get more dough.
Just a moment. You made a deal. The boss won't pay any more.
There was nothing in my deal about flying under these conditions.
You knew that there would be certain risks.
Sure, but you promised me a certain amount of protection, which I didn't get. So tell your boss I want more money.
Welcomes, Mr. Brad. Louis Chen is very happy to know you landed tonight.
You don't miss much, do you?
No, sir. For 2 days, my humble person and his loyal friends have offered nightly prayers for your safe return.
Okay. How do you and I stand?
According to my celestial calculation and the present rate of exchange, you owe me the sum of $140,647.20 American money.
Here's 10.
Sorry, I do not have 6,000 Shanghai change. If I carried change in my rickshaw, there would be no room for passengers.
Keep it.
Many thanks. Mr. Brad, your friend, Mr. Ellis, is very bad tonight. Very bad. He's upstairs now.
I'll take care of him. See you around. I want a pack of American cigarettes.
Sorry, but we're all out.
How much are they when you're all out?
$10.
Can I have the bill for 33?
Here it is. $376. American money.
Kind of high, isn't it?
Mr. Ellis has been charging many things to your account for some time.
What of it? Here. Stamp that paid.
Here you are, sir. Oh, Mr. Dunham.
Yes?
We shall be requiring your room.
What?
The management regrets that it requires you and Mr. Ellis to move tonight.
You can't do that. Mr. Ellis is sick, and you can't put a sick man out in the street.
If I may say so, Mr. Ellis's sickness bears a curious relationship to whiskey.
Whatever you got against me is okay. But lay off him.
We want the room tonight. Mr. Cartwright, please. Oh, Mr. Cartwright? Number 33 is checking out tonight. Yes, I think we can dispose of the room to our mutual advantage. Thank you, sir.
Has Mr. Dunham come in yet?
He's just gone up to his room. What name, please?
Never mind, thank you. I'll wait.
What do you got?
Got some sherry, please.
Sherry? Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Dunham when you see him?
That I do, miss. Would you like me to point him out?
Would you, please?
Would you like me to introduce you?
That won't be necessary, thank you.
Sorry about this. I've had all I can take. Maybe heaven isn't too particular about who they let in. Best of luck to the last of the old gang. Steve. Desk clerk. Mrs. Dunham. Mr. Ellis has already checked out. You better send the coroner up for his bags. It's Mr. Dunham now.
Good evening, Mr. Dunham.
Evening, Mike. Just one.
Is Mr. Ellis joining you tonight?
No.
Feeling poorly, is he?
He never felt better in his life. He's dead.
May the saints have mercy on his soul. There were those that didn't deserve to clean his shoes that found fault with him. But he was a fine gentleman.
I'll drink to that.
With your permission, sir, I'd like to join you. How about a couple drinks, Mike?
Coming up, sir.
Pretty stuffy around here.
Yeah, let's move down there. The climate's better.
Excuse me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Good evening, Mr. Dunham.
Did you get my message to your boss?
What message do you mean?
There'd be no more flights unless I get more dough.
But I told you that was the price.
If you haven't got the nerve to tell him, I will. Take me to him.
No one sees the boss, and the boss sees no one.
He better see me.
You are in no position to make demands. We had an understanding. Take it or leave it.
Louis.
Yes, Mr. Brad. In what way can I serve you?
You know I flew a plane in tonight, don't you?
Well, yes and no.
Come on now, Lou. You're a smart little guy. Tell me, where'd they take the cargo?
Well, sir, I seem to have heard a rumor. Only a rumor, mind you, that the cargo was delivered to a warehouse in the Street of Fallen Leaves. My humble rickshaw is at your service. Might find this key of some use to you.
Don't wait for me.
Yes, Mr. Dunham.
What's this rumor I hear about my having to give up my room?
Well, it's a clerical error, Mr. Dunham. We won't say any more about it.
See that you don't.
Mr. Cartwright, I think Mr. Dunham is going to work out very nicely. Very nicely indeed.
Mike?
Yes, Mr. Dunham?
How would you like to have a drink of real scotch instead of that lighter fluid you've been dishing out?
I haven't spent an evening with those two boys since before the war.
Well, pull up a couple of glasses and sit down.
Yes, sir.
Is it real?
That it is.
It looks like home.
It tastes like home, too. Mike, a glass for the lady.
No, thank you. I just wanted to touch it.
Homesick?
A little.
Been away long?
It seems like years, but it's not, actually. It's just that everything here seems so strange.
That's the trouble with foreign countries. Everything's so foreign. You just get here?
Yesterday. I'm a field worker with the International Settlement. My name is Arnold. Linda Arnold.
Hello. You make a hobby of talking to strangers in bars?
Not usually, but if you looked American and I saw no harm in it.
It's a cinch you don't know who I am.
Should I?
Brad Dunham. The name mean anything to you?
No.
Well, let me give it to you fast. Nice girls aren't supposed to talk to me, much less be seen with me.
Why?
I'm a bottle with a label on it. It says poison. And there's no antidote, unless this is it.
I feel no ill effects.
Stick around. You will. Cigarette?
Thank you, no.
Mr. Dunham.
Don't go away, baby. You'll see what I mean. This end of the bar is closed.
Mr. Dunham, I am very much interested in knowing where you put that certain large package. Didn't you hear me, Mr. Dunham? Where did you hide that package?
I talked to nobody but the boss. As I was saying, Miss Arnold, you must allow me to show you the points of interest in Shanghai. We'll start off with the two crummy characters in back of me. The little one is a small-time toughie who was weaned on a water pistol. And the other...
Mr. Dunham.
Do I talk to the boss?
Come with me.
Miss Arnold, you take care of those two guys, and I'll take care of these two. Come on, boys. I've been here before. Follow me.
Good evening, Mr. Dunham. So nice of you to drop in.
He refused to talk to me, Madame Baronoff. I had to bring him here.
This isn't the first time you've been unable to carry out my orders.
Never send a boy to do a man's work.
Watch your rotten mouth or I'll...
Ram on. And now, Mr. Dunham. Shall we get down to business?
I made a deal to talk with the boss. Alone.
Go. Close the door.
The black market sure pays.
I must say your methods are a little flamboyant, Mr. Dunham.
You mean stealing the truck? It got results. I'm talking to the boss.
And you might have been killed.
Not by the guys you got working for you now.
How do you know you're safe with me?
How do you know I haven't got a gun?
Because your clothes fit you much too well.
It's plain to see that you haven't got a gun either.
All this is very charming, Mr. Dunham. But it doesn't get me back my truck.
It's yours.
Just like that?
No.
Oh. And your condition?
I want a cut.
How much of a cut do you expect to get for one truck?
Half. Partners.
You're very amusing.
It's not that funny. Look, I flew the cargo, then hijacked it myself. And now I've got it stashed away where your surly characters will never find it. You must admit that's a pretty good night's work for one guy.
I'm willing to admit that.
And the night isn't over yet.
Do you really think you can talk yourself into a partnership on the strength of one truckload of cargo?
No. The truck was the key to your door. But I give you credit for knowing a good thing when you see it.
Meaning you?
Meaning me.
You're much too modest, Mr. Dunham.
Modesty doesn't pay off. You should know that.
I don't like the trend your conversation is taking.
What do you want? Polite conversation or results? Look, I'm the only one that talks your language around here, and it doesn't take an expert to see what your outfit needs is a man's touch.
And you're that man.
That's right. You've got the black market cornered, but you're not running it right.
And you think you could run it right?
What do you got to lose? If I double your business and you cut me in for half, you'd still be making as much as you're making now, and I'd be doing all the dirty work. You could just sit back and relax and stay beautiful.
You make it sound very attractive.
From where I'm standing, it is.
Shall we drink to a successful partnership?
That still doesn't prove I'm a partner.
You are hard to convince. My partner wants to give you an order.
Partner? Yes. Go and pick up the truck. It's in the garage and back at 2300 Rhodes Drive. Hurry back.
If he gives orders, I don't take them.
Okay, then. You're fired. Get out. It's crowded in here.
You heard him. Satisfied?
Not yet. She went home, Mr. Brad, about an hour ago. Girls like her don't wait in bars. Oh, that's too bad. Did she leave any message?
Yes. She said she'd get in touch with you.
She did?
You made a hit with the little lady. Night, Cap?
No, thanks. What I need is some sleep. Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mr. Brad.
Brad, you son of a gun, it's really you.
Right in the flesh.
Oh, I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you.
You know, for a minute I thought I was asleep and having a nightmare.
I'm awake looking at one.
Gee, 4 long years. You know, I really shouldn't talk to you.
Why?
I wrote you over a dozen letters.
I didn't get them.
I didn't know what had happened to you. Last letter I wrote came back marked address unknown. Were you killed?
Yeah, but I refuse to stay buried.
Good for you. Where you staying?
Right here.
Oh. Well, you just got yourself a roommate.
Well, what are we waiting for? Come on.
Boy, oh boy, this is my lucky day. Remind me to send a thank you note to my guardian angel.
Oh, Mr. Andrews is moving in with me. Is that all right with you?
Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir.
Just like that. You know the only thing missing out? Old Mrs. McGroarty pounding on the door and yelling, "There'll be no cooking in the rooms, boys. And could you be letting me have the loan of a bottle of gin?"
What happened to the old battle axe?
Well, last I heard of her, she was captain of a landing barge on D-Day.
Same old Mark. Oh, it's nice to know some things haven't changed.
That your crew?
It was.
I heard about the rough deal the four of you got.
What did you think?
You didn't have to ask me that. Parker, Rourke, and Ellis, too? Oh, that's too bad. How'd it happen?
He took his own life. He never really got over it after the four of us got kicked out of the Army. He lost everything except his pride. When he lost that,
That's tough. Well, you seem to have come out of it all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's hit the sack, huh?
That's for me. A real bed. With sheets. Ah, dreamland, here I come. Young Fred, this is my idea of the way to cover a story.
What are you on now?
Didn't I tell you? Oh, they're letting me write my own ticket on the biggest story of the day. Exotic intrigue, mysterious murders, all the trimmings complete with pictures.
What is that, or can't you tell?
Sure, I can tell you. A black market. Good night, Brad.
Good night, Mark.
Intrigue, dark as the skies, brought me to you, bringing a new delight. You were the laurel alluring me on. We kissed, and my resistance was gone, gone. Intrigue, two hearts in league, without a word, clearly we heard the call, and now you're mine, my love, and love is all. Intrigue, intrigue.
Enjoy your dinner?
It was wonderful. I love Chinese food.
This is the one place in Shanghai where you can get the kind of Chinese dishes you only can get back in the States. Like to dance, Miss Arnold? Would you like to dance, Miss Arnold?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd forgotten that people can have fun.
I'd sort of forgotten, too. It's hard to believe that you're a social service worker.
Why?
You dance too well.
Thank you. I like dancing. Do you dance a great deal?
No, but from now on I will.
right, here we go. Dateline Shanghai. Quote, behind the black market, unquote, by Marc Andrews. Shanghai pleads for food. Years of war have sharpened China's demand for essential goods from abroad. Every man, woman, and child fights for mere existence, struggles desperately for the bare necessities of life. As the cost of living soars to fantastic heights, Shanghai bulges with milling crowds eager to buy common everyday articles at prices as much as 5,000 times higher than pre-war. Those lucky enough to possess them exchange their jewelry and even their prized family heirlooms for bundles of inflated paper money. The rate of exchange soars to more than 2,000 Chinese dollars for every one American dollar. Openly vending their smuggled and pilfered goods, the black marketeers are one of Shanghai's biggest problems. Handbags for the ladies, clothing, shoes, stockings, all kinds and shades for those who can afford them, knickknacks for the men, and canned goods by the thousands. Canned vegetables are much in demand, even at black market prices. The main diet is rice, with an occasional bit of green vegetable or fish. The only escape from this suffering and privation is death. The profiteers who control the black market must be singled out and publicly exposed. Those individuals who, blinded by greed, control food, control the lives of innocent men, women, and children. And those who control lives control nations, races, and the course of the world.
Possibly see your way to accepting a few more children in this car.
I wish we could, sir, but I don't quite see how we could manage.
How many are there in this group?
22. But these are not ordinary cases, I assure you. They're orphans. Their parents died of starvation in the Shanxi province. If something is not done for them, they will die too.
Something must be done. Do you think we could take them in, Miss Parker?
I think we can manage, if we cut the rations again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're doing the best we can, but it's not enough. The authorities are making arrests every day, and yet the black market continues, controlled by a few who place the love of money above the lives of children. Thank you again for your kindness. Madam Baranoff, Miss Carr, Miss Parker.
Excuse me. It's time to serve our elaborate one-course lunch.
Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Miss Parker.
I'm glad you came over today. I have a few important problems I'd like to discuss with you.
Of course. I'll do anything I can to help the situation.
Would you mind looking this over?
Children, this is Mr. Dunham.
Hello, Mr. Dunham.
Hiya.
Are you an orphan, too?
Yes, I suppose you could call me that.
Did your parents die in the hills?
Now, Mia, run along and have your lunch. You mustn't mind them.
I don't. I was a kid once myself.
Excuse me, it's time for the children's games. All right, children. Come along, it's time for games.
choose up sides.
Oh, we already have our team, sir.
Who's the pitcher?
I propel the ball from the mound, sir.
Well, that's one way of doing it. Anybody around here, the umpire? Well, I can't say that I blame you. If it's all right with both sides, I'll call him as I see him.
Thank you. We have the utmost confidence in your judgment as the arbitrator, sir.
It's plain you didn't play in Brooklyn. All right, then let's play ball. Come on. Strike one.
Beg your pardon, sir, but it seemed to me that ball was rather wide.
I'll watch it.
Thank you, sir. Do they do it that way in Brooklyn, sir?
Once in a while. Next batter.
I've never seen them enjoy themselves so much.
I'm having a pretty good time myself. All right, play ball. Hey, Shorty, are you all right?
I'm afraid baseball isn't quite the game for them. They're not very strong, you know. They don't get very much to eat.
Why don't you feed them more?
Feed them more? What do you think we do here? Eat it ourselves? There isn't enough to go around.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Many people don't know, unless they see it with their own eyes. The black market doesn't touch their lives, but it touches these lives very deeply. Come on, honey, relax. Come on, children, back to classes.
Thank you for playing with us, Mr. Dunham.
That's okay, sweetheart.
Are you coming back again, Mr. Dunham?
Try and keep me away.
Come along, Mia.
The outer harbor, signaling for clearance to enter, when there was a burst of machine gun fire.
Go ahead.
The first burst killed the helmsman and got me in the arm. Then they hove to and came aboard, 6 of them. I did what I could.
I'm not blaming you. Recognize any of the men?
It was too dark, and it happened too fast. When I came to, they were adrift, and the cargo had been taken up.
8,000 pounds of rice at 90 cents a pound. $16,000 American.
Louis, you stay here. I'm going to call on Mr. Caridian.
Oh, Mr. Dunham, I did not hear you knock.
I didn't hear you say come in. So that makes us even.
Forgive me if I do not shake hands. Custom of my country, you know.
Stay away from my boats. Custom of my country, you know.
Boats? Do any of you gentlemen know anything about Mr. Dunham's boats? I'm afraid, Mr. Dunham, that none of us know what you're talking about.
One of my men never knew what hit him. The other may lose an arm. And I lost $16,000 worth of cargo.
That's most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Rice is so difficult to get.
Not for the guys who stole it off my boat. And how did you know it was rice?
My dear Mr. Dunham, you seem to be laboring under a misapprehension.
Am I?
Are you accusing me of piracy on the high seas?
That's right.
This is very amusing, Mr. Dunham. Very amusing. You have proof, of course. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm a very hard-working man in the importing business, just like you. Now, why don't you run along and get your proof, Mr. Dunham?
Okay. If that's the way you want it, that's the way you'll get it. This is proof enough for me.
How do you do, Mr. Dunham?
Hello.
Caridian did it, didn't he?
Yes, that's right.
How did he know our sailing schedule?
The next friend of yours is working for him now.
Raymond? Well, we'll just have to change our methods. I want guns and ammunition put on every piece of our equipment.
I've already done that.
Good. Well, that may solve one of our problems.
What do you mean?
Caridian isn't our only enemy. Take a look at this. He's dangerous, Brad.
I'll take care of it.
But that's what you've been saying all along. It isn't only us he's after, there are others. And they're not as fond of him as you are.
I said I'd handle it.
And Brad, I don't think it's wise for you to see too much of Miss Parker.
Miss Parker?
Maybe she introduced herself to you as Miss Arnold. Does the name Parker mean anything to you?
Perhaps it does.
And perhaps she's digging into the past just as your Mr. Andrews is digging into the present. They're both dangerous, Brad.
In what way is she dangerous to you?
Don't look at me that way, Brad. It's just that I don't want anything to happen to you. Or to us.
Oh, hiya, Brad.
Hiya, Mark.
Just been looking over my stuff.
Is it good?
Good? Are you kidding?
How about a tall one?
Been wanting one for an hour.
You got it.
Oh, say, there was a phone call for you.
Who was it?
Miss Arnold. Lovely voice. Still up to your old tricks?
I got some new ones. She say what she wanted?
Oh, nothing except that she'd be delighted to join a couple of gay young blades.
What are you talking about?
Well, she sounded so nice, I asked her to have dinner with us.
You what?
You don't mind, do you, Brad?
For an old St. Bernard, you're doing all right.
Oh, wait till she sees me. Oh, why didn't you put some ice in this?
Say, Mark, you're pretty hot on this assignment, aren't you?
I sure am. This is no penny ante racket, you know. It covers the whole world and every country that's trying to get back on its feet. This is a lot worse than the old days of Prohibition. Not everybody drank, but everybody eats.
Well, I think I better get changed.
Yeah. We better hurry. Mustn't keep our girl waiting. Oh, what's the use? You know, I admire the kind of work you're doing, Miss Arnold. Do you get any help from the local people?
Oh, some of them have been very kind, like Madame Baranoff.
What does she do?
She contributes food and clothing for the children. I don't know what we'd do without her.
Baranoff. Does she have an interest in your firm, Brad?
She certainly has. She's the firm. I'm just the office boy. You're Linda Parker, aren't you?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me?
Danny Parker was my brother. Would you have talked to me if you'd known that?
What's there to talk about?
I don't believe Danny was guilty.
Well, the court-martial passed on the evidence.
Yeah, why don't you just forget it?
I can't. I won't.
You came a long way to buck a court-martial.
I don't care about the court-martial. It nearly killed my mother and father, and I decided then I had to get at the truth, no matter whom it hurts. You're safe and secure now, but my parents aren't. For their sake, I've got to find out the truth.
What are you trying to prove, that I did it? Okay, so I did. You feel better now?
Brad.
Mark, sign my name to the check.
It'll be a pleasure. You don't really think Brad had anything to do with that, do you?
I came 8,000 miles to find out, and I'm going to.
Well, you mustn't mind the way he talks. You know, I've got a hunch that crazy guy likes you. Oh, he may have a strange way of showing it. Then he's a strange guy.
Your costume is perfect, Mr. Brad. The truck should be along any moment now. How much rice are they carrying? 6 tons. Well, Mr. Credian will still owe us 2 tons. Remember how we planned it? Yes, sir. And the donkey does, too. Good. Whoa. This is the spot. Down. Down.
Bandongsi! Chila! Chila! Bandongsi! Chila! Bandongsi! Chila!
I'll get him out of there.
Come on, you guys, move that animal. Savvy English, move that animal.
Ni shang luj de fu ching.
Tell that guy in Chinese.
I told him he looked like the donkey's father.
Nah. His ears aren't long enough.
Miss Parker! Miss Parker! Oh, the most wonderful thing has happened. A few moments ago, a truck drove in and delivered 500 pounds of rice. This note came with it.
Just so the Shanghai Dodgers don't fall down running around the bases. The umpire.
Anything from me?
Just the cable office called.
Oh, good. Get him back for me, will you? I'll take the call upstairs in my room.
Now get me the cable office and put it through to room 33.
Yeah? Oh, this Mr. Andrews. No, that won't be necessary. Just read it to me.
Dateline, Washington, D.C. War Department records of Brad Dunham court-martial show syndicate handling smuggled contraband existed. No mention Tamara Baranoff in this connection. If your facts warrant, we will back to limit investigation to clear any former Army flyer. It's signed Bartry, Chief of Bureau.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Marc Andrews, madam. How nice of you to drop in.
How good of you to see me.
A drink?
No, thanks. Not during business hours.
You wish to see me?
You mind if I get directly to the point?
No, I prefer it that way.
Good. You're a very attractive and very clever woman.
Yes.
Therefore, I shall try neither to flatter nor outwit you.
Thank you.
You're one of the powers in the black market, aren't you?
Yes.
Previous to that, you were engaged in other, more illegal activities, were you not?
Yes.
Thank you for giving me honest answers.
Not at all. If you print any of this, I shall, of course, sue you for libel.
I don't intend to print any of this, yet.
Well, then why, may I ask, have you come to see me? Coffee?
No, thanks. I came to make a bargain.
I'm afraid you'll have to be more explicit.
I intend to be. Brad Dunham is my friend. For almost 3 years, he's lived under a cloud. The result of a court-martial and dishonorable discharge of which he was completely undeserving.
I fail to see in what way this affects me.
I believe you had something to do with the cargo on Brad's plane.
I?
Uh-huh.
You can prove that.
Maybe.
I see. And your bargain?
I'll minimize your participation in the black market in exchange for a clean bill of health for Brad.
And if I refuse?
I'll continue my investigation until they reopen the court-martial.
And then?
You'll hang. Or do they behead people in this country for smuggling contraband during wartime?
You are most insolent, Mr. Andrews.
The truth often is. Well, what do you say?
I say no. And furthermore, I would suggest that your investigations into my private life stop.
No can do. I'm a reporter. I've got a job. You're it. You sure you won't change your mind? I'm disappointed in you. I thought you'd see the advantage in our bargain. I still think you're very attractive. In fact, I believe you will be the most beautiful woman ever to lose her head in the city of Shanghai.
Wellington 693. I'd like to speak with Mr. Caridian, please. Tell him Madame Baranoff is calling.
Come in.
Mr. Andrews?
Yeah?
Forgive us for intruding like this. I doubt very much that if we had announced ourselves, you would have seen us.
What do you want?
To talk to you. I've been reading your articles with great interest. Great interest. Oh, but possibly you do not know who I am.
Your manner's very familiar.
My name is Caridian. I'm in the importing business. That scowling gentleman leaning against a door is associated with me. May I sit down?
Did you boys get a good price for the rice you lifted off Mr. Dunham's boat?
Excellent. We turned a very neat profit. But I did not intrude on you to discuss my business, but yours. More facts for your loyal readers?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I don't like dirt on my copy.
I see. You prefer dirt in it. What a pity to waste a talent like yours on a muckraking business.
Well, we don't make the facts, we just print them.
What good does it do? Nothing is deader than yesterday's newspaper. Unless it be yesterday's newspaper man.
Mr. Caridian, if every man who's threatened me were laid end to end, they'd all look like you.
Not a threat, Mr. Andrews. Let us say a business proposition.
Sorry, no bribes today.
Mr. Andrews, you're not a bright-eyed reporter just out of college. You're a practical man of the world. Your work shows it.
Why don't you write my editor? Maybe give me a raise.
Exactly. Something tangible to show. You'd have that with me. And plenty of time to devote yourself to a novel or a play. Are not all reporters going to retire and write a play?
Not this one. I'll go to my grave turning over flat rocks and exposing vermin like you.
To your grave? But why go sooner than you have to? Another point, Mr. Andrews. You may find that your investigations will lead you closer to home than you think.
Make that plainer.
Your friend, Mr. Dunham, has been extraordinarily successful in the importing business. Has it not occurred to you that he has perhaps been a little too successful?
Get out!
Ask him. And ask him what he did with 6 tons of my rice. I'm still 2 tons ahead. So you see, Mr. Andrews, it would be best all around if you stopped exactly where you are now.
Get out.
If you do not, I would suggest that you write your own obituary. I have an idea it is going to be printed sooner than you think. Good day, Mr. Andrews.
Going up, sir?
Hiya, Mark. You look very comfortable.
Hiya, fella. You have a good day?
Okay. Did you just have a couple of visitors?
Yeah.
What did those 2 rats want?
Social call. Think I've been working too hard. Wanted me to retire. In fact, they insisted on it.
They get rough?
Only verbally. One of them makes the threats. The other one looks like he can carry them out.
That's the one I threw out of the firm.
Oh. How about a drink?
No, thanks. What else do they say? Come on. Let's have it.
Is it true?
Yes.
Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it? People are willing to pay the price. Why shouldn't I take it?
Pay the price? Do you know anything about the price they're really paying?
What about the price I paid? Do you know what it means to be an outcast, have decent people walk away from you? To be thrown out of your room? To have every legitimate door slammed in your face for something you didn't do?
Ever since I got here, I've been working on your case, trying to help you. Trying to clear you. I've almost got this thing licked. What chance have I got if you stick in this rotten racket?
Did you want me to go the same way Ellis did? He took the same rap that I did and finally bought himself a one-way ticket. I got as much right to travel first cabin as anybody else. And if the black market's my ticket, why, I'm buying it.
Get out of it. Get out of it, Brad.
You're not the same guy who fought against this sort of thing. Against the little guy getting pushed around.
Until I got pushed around.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. You don't want me around here. Your guy likes to live with a noisy conscience. I'd have given my life for you. But we're on opposite sides of the fence now. I came here to do a job, and I'm going to do it. No matter what it costs me or you. You see, Brad, there's no price tag on my principles. I'll send for the rest of my stuff later.
First Parker. Rock. Then Ellis. Now me.
Well, what do you think?
Incredible. Fantastic. Mr. Andrews, this is shocking.
I meant it to be.
You sure you can substantiate these facts?
I can. All of them.
This is a bombshell. It will blow this town wide open.
I hope it does. People have a right to know the truth.
Of course. But men, women, and children are starving. And when people read names, dates, and places...
You've got to break the stranglehold that's keeping food out of the people's mouths.
Mr. Andrews, if you're willing to take the risk, I am. I'll print it.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Andrews. And may I sound a note of warning? These people aren't going to take this line down, you know.
Well, we'll just see who's the more powerful. They are the press. Sergeant.
Sergeant, and be careful. I'd hate to lose you.
The old reporters never die. The ink in their veins preserves them.
Remarkable man, Mr. Andrews. He could not be bought, and he could not be intimidated. I dislike harming him, really. But he leaves us no alternative.
I would like that job very much.
It's yours.
You know, if you look at it a certain way, he's really committing suicide with a typewriter.
Adam Baranoff inside? What are you doing here with these rats?
Raymond. You left me no alternative.
Make that clear to me.
I warned you, Mr. Andrews, it would become dangerous. You said you'd handle it. You didn't. Somebody has to.
The black market certainly makes strange bedfellows.
Just good business. Marc Andrews is our common enemy.
Stay away from Marc Andrews.
We've got to work together.
And you'll die together. Just remember that.
How dare you speak to me like that? You were nothing when I took you into the firm and gave you a chance to get the things you said you wanted. You wanted money, didn't you? And your self-respect back. Well, you've got them. But nobody hands you those things on a silver platter. They've got to be paid for.
But Mark isn't paying for it. And if anything happens to him, you'll answer to me. Each one of you.
It would appear we have quite a problem.
Two problems.
Mr. Dunham. Mr. Dunham. You did come back.
Yes, I did. Go on, get back to bed.
You took us in.
All right. All right, children, now go on back to bed.
Tell us a story.
I don't know any stories.
Please tell us a story.
Okay. Well, once upon a time there was a flyer.
Was he a dragon?
Some people thought he was.
Dragons don't fly.
Well, this one did. Who's telling this?
I'll keep quiet. Go on.
Well, this flyer, this dragon, I mean, got into a lot of trouble for something he didn't do, and it changed his whole life. Then he got mixed up with a lady dragon, and the flyer went to work for the lady dragon because he had to eat and have a place to live.
Did he do wrong things?
Some. Then he met a girl.
Was the girl a dragon too?
No. She was very pretty and very sweet.
Like a princess?
Yes, like a princess. But she thought the flyer had done something bad to her brother.
Did he?
No. The flyer was innocent. And he wanted her to believe that because...
Because he loved the princess? Did she love him?
I don't know that part of the story yet, sweetheart. Children, you better get to your beds.
Does the story have a happy ending?
You go to sleep, sweetheart. I don't blame you. My record hasn't been so good.
Brad. I'm sorry I misjudged you. In my heart, I didn't want to believe it.
You're the first fine thing that's come into my life since the day I thought it was over. And I'm not going to let you out of it.
Oh, hold your horses. Hello? Yeah, speaking. What? I've been out all day. What? Stolen? Well, hold the phone. I'll see if I can find a carbon copy. Hello? Yeah, I got it. No, I'll bring it down myself. This time I'm sticking around till it's printed.
Mark, I may be down in your book as a rat. It doesn't matter about me. But for your own sake, be careful.
Don't worry about me.
Mark.
Brad. Here. Get this. My paper.
Louis, get an ambulance, quick.
You can't go in yet, sir.
How is he?
He suffered a great loss of blood.
You can give it to me straight, Doc. What are his chances?
Not so good.
May I see him?
Yes, you can go in.
Brad. Brad, did you get the article in the paper?
Yes, they got it.
Thanks, pal. Did you get a load of the cute nurse?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, don't let it get you down.
How do you expect me to feel? If I gotten out of it when you asked me to, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
This is the only way they can stop me, whether you were in it or not. Brad, listen. Madame Baronoff was behind the smuggling in your plane, and the guilty member of your crew was Rourke. It's all in the article. But I wanted you to hear it from me.
Mark. Mark, you can't check out on me again. You can't.
Old reporters never die. Did I do all right for an old Saint Bernard?
You did all right.
Marc Andrews are coming in.
I warned you Mr. Andrews would become dangerous. You said you'd handle it. You didn't. Somebody has it. Many people don't know unless they see it with their own eyes. The black market doesn't touch their eyes, but it touches these eyes very physically.
This is no penny ante record, you know. It covers the whole world. Every country that's trying to get back on its feet. This is a lot worse than the old days of Prohibition. Not everybody drank, but everybody eats. No guy likes to live with a noisy conscience. Do you know anything about the price they're really paying? Ever since I got here, I've been working on your case, trying to help you, trying to clear you. What chance have I got if you stick in this rotten racket? Get out of it. Get out of it, Brad. Get out of it, Brad.
Mr. Bragg! Mr. Bragg, do not go in there. They'll kill you. It's in the papers. All of their names. They will kill you.
Louis, tell these people to take the food. I want them to have it. All of it.
Chen Chen! Chen Chen! Dad's alive! Nami! Not your Dong Chi! Not your Dong Chi!
Raymond, is the plane ready? We'll get over here just as quickly as you can. What? The police got Caridian? Well, they won't get us. Yes, darling, just you and I. Brad, darling, I knew I could count on you.
Just you and I, darling.
I can explain that, Brad. You see, I was...
Shut up. You're gonna write a confession that's gonna clear me.
Don't dig up the past. It's over. It's over and forgotten.
You heard what I said?
Brad, listen. I've got money. All the money we'll ever need. We can go away together somewhere. Oh,
You're gonna write what I tell you.
you're insane.
Start writing. I, Tamara Baranoff, do hereby confess. Raymond Perez, who was in my employ, together with Lieutenant Rourke and I, Tamara Baranoff, were solely guilty. This is my true and final confession. Now sign it.
I'll take that. I'm afraid, Mr. Dunham, that this confession will never see the light of day.
Mr. Dunham, where is he? Is he inside?
Don't go in, miss. Please don't go in.